Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience tuning in Atlanta and Mississippi, as well as our online audience joining us around the world. We're glad you all could be with us as well. You know, we are always trying to share with you guys some innovative ways to not only be able to spend time, of course, with your loved ones, but also to take advantage of the new products and services that are out there. That's why we're so excited to welcome to our program today Captain Bermun McGhee. He's the founder of Helicopter 2. We'll talk to him about that, as well as his journey as an aviation expert, what it's been like for him to do what he loves, but also to be able to share his own love of flight and adventure with others as well. If you guys are just now hearing about Helicopter 2, it's an innovative service. Right now it's servicing 4 major U.S. cities and beyond. We'll talk to the captain about that, and, of course, let you guys know how to get more information. But, Captain McGhee, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me on.
Well, look, the pleasure's definitely all mine. We're going to get into Helicopter 2 here, but I thought it was really interesting when I was prepping for your segment. I think this all kind of begins with your own love of service, but also of flight as well. So take us back a little bit. I mean, when did you first realize that aviation was something that you were interested in?
Well, I grew up in a small town called Talladega, Alabama, and one day I was outside playing with my brother and some other neighborhood children, and we were playing football, and I remember a helicopter flying overhead, and I just looked up and I just wondered, you know, what it took to be able to fly a helicopter. And my interest was just, you know, so into that. I started reading books about it, started researching how to become a pilot and that type of thing, and everything throughout my childhood from that point on was, you know, within the interest of flying helicopters. I studied hard and, you know, really focused on whatever was needed to accomplish that.
And I think it's so great, too, you've been able to, Captain, to build a business around your passion, something we've been fortunate to do here with Conversations. And I think not only you've been able to do that, but also, as I mentioned, where the customer service aspect comes in, to be able to be of service. I mean, have you always kind of realized, kind of you've been on your journey, the importance of providing good service and the importance of doing your best when it comes to whatever type of service you were into?
Yes, and that comes from my military background, where when I flew for the U.S. Army, you couldn't pick and choose your flight missions, and you couldn't necessarily just, you know, tell the general, hey, I'm not flying today, or we can't do this. You had to find a way to accomplish the task at hand, and that carries over into VIP. You know, types of service, which is the company that I built from the beginning once I got out of the military. It's very oriented around providing what the customer needs when they need it, and without, you know, giving excuses or, you know, lack of customer service. So
right.
It kind of went hand in hand with that.
Speaking of going hand in hand, Captain, to stay with that for a moment, I think it's so interesting. You know, of course, I knew from prepping for this about, you know, the service that you've been able to, to provide to the country, but also, of course, provide to others. Now you're able to do it in a business setting, and I bring that up for our audience here because I think it's so important for us how we're able to use different things that we've learned, you know, from one career, one aspect of our lives to be able to move that into another. So when you come to something like what you've done with Helicopter 2, do you feel as though, for one, of course, I mentioned, you know, providing great service, that being something we're able to bring to business, but also providing a unique experience. Definitely what you're doing here, it, you know, kind of goes hand in hand into that. Talk to us about how you came up with the idea for Helicopter 2 and providing that service in the world that we're living in today where so many people are looking for innovative ways to travel and get from point A to point B.
Well, because I have always been in aviation. I started flying when I was 17. I didn't like I didn't like driving, and I hate traffic. And I travel around the world in a lot of cities. They have horrific traffic, and I said, why aren't people just flying around in helicopters to, get through this stuff? Because I was used to doing that in the military. So I started working originally on a concept back in 2006, 2007 time frame of what I was going to call click and fly, which was instead of it being on your phone, because back then phones were not, cellular phones were not, heavily used and used with applications. So I continued to refine, my original dream of basically everyone flying around like the Jetsons, so to speak. But so I continued to refine that and got with a software company. I drew out over a period of years and talked to them through what I was envisioning. And it took us about 4.5 years to develop the software to where I can, put it in cities where traffic is really horrific. And for example, Atlanta is one of the cities. You have 4 stops in the city, like the airport, downtown, Buckhead, and then Alpharetta. Those would be the 4 stops in the city, our route. And it would take you 7 minutes between each one of those stops. And usually, if you were in a car driving between those points, it would take you anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. And to get through the entire route, you're talking about 2.5 hours of driving. So in that, I also wanted to make it affordable and make it attainable for the everyday person to experience that, because that was one of the challenges when I was younger and having an interest in flying. It was quite expensive, and as a teenager, working at the local McDonald's, I had to work about 3 weeks before I could afford 1 hour of flight lesson or to even experience a flight in a helicopter. So that was part of my vision, was to make it affordable, and that's one of the things with my app, the Helicopter 2 app. You will be able to take a ride on a helicopter and experience, full VIP service for about $20 between each stop. The entire route, it's only $85 for the entire route. So that's per person, and I wanted the teenager that's working at the local fast food place, that if he wanted, or if he or she wanted to take their significant other out on a simple date or just an experience, they would be able to afford it less than even going to the movies or taking an Uber. So that was my complete vision of what I'm doing now with Helicopter 2.
And we're going to be letting our audience know, Captain, how they can find out more information. I want to recap real quick, though, by saying for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Captain Bermun McGhee to our program today. Captain McGhee is talking with us not only about his own journey with aviation as an aviation expert, but also his own passion for flight, but also what it's been like for him now as an entrepreneur to be able to provide a service that you all can benefit from, as you were just hearing him say, very cost-effectively, especially when it comes to cities like Atlanta, which when you mentioned Atlanta, I thought, that's one of the things that people, well, myself included, think about is the traffic when we're trying to get from one place to another. So I want to talk about another aspect of this, because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, Captain McGhee, I mean, this is something that is definitely an experience that you're talking about. For our entrepreneurs out there, I mean, how did you get the courage? And I bring that up because it's an amazing idea, but so many people out there, as you know, have these amazing ideas. They don't do anything with them. How did you get to a place where you believed in yourself and the idea enough to be able to move forward?
I honestly will say I've always believed in myself, in my vision, and that's what it takes. You have to believe in yourself no matter what other people tell you, because that's one of the challenges. When I first set out on this, I was trying to get investors and trying to collaborate with other people, and people just didn't understand it. They didn't believe in what I believed in. They didn't think it could be done. And I just went off and just had faith in myself, knowing that my vision was my vision and I had to see it through. And I just did it on my own, pushed through it. It wasn't easy. It took longer. I didn't cut any corners, and that's one of the benefits of investors and people involved, was that I could stay true to my vision. I didn't have to change anything. I made all the decisions. I did it exactly the way I wanted it to be so that it stayed my actual vision. So that is the one thing I would tell everyone, all of your listeners: believe in yourself. Stick to that no matter what anybody's telling you.
Yeah. Such an important thing. So let's talk about then the other side of this. We talked earlier, Captain, about what it was like for you to provide a service before. Now with Helicopter 2, what has the response been like for you from others who've not only heard about what you're offering with the app, but also about the experience now that they're able to enjoy because of this service? What has that been like for you to hear from those who are either going to be customers or those who are now hearing about what you've been able to offer them?
Everyone has been excited. They think it's amazing. They're excited to be able to experience it. We're going to the app itself will be available by the end of this month. You'll be able to download it on your iPhone or your Android-based phone through your Google Play Store or through your I think iTunes on. And then the actual service itself will actually begin January 21, 2021. So we are rolling it out in each city, and we'll also be available in China and also in Cambodia and the Philippines. So it's not just here in the States. All your passes that we have available, we have a daily pass, we have a single ride pass, we have a weekly pass, a monthly pass, and a yearly pass. So all those passes, when you purchase them, they're good for 1 year. So you don't have to worry about, I bought one in September, but the service doesn't start until January, or you don't know when you're going to use it. It's fine. You don't have to worry about it because it's good for a year. You don't have to worry about, I bought one and I have to use it right now. No, it's good for a year. So, wow. And they're as low as $19.99, and it goes up from there on our yearly pass. So, okay. And there's numerous things that come with it. Like I said, it would be a true VIP experience from start to finish, just like if you were a multimillionaire taking your own private helicopter somewhere in the city.
Amazing. Amazing. What a great thing. So again, everyone, as you heard Captain McGhee say, you'll be able to start to download the app at the end of this month, so you have that to be able to go ahead and to do. But then January 21st, 2021, you guys will be able to start to enjoy the service. I mean, this has to be an exciting time for you, Captain McGhee. I mean, you're no stranger to business, but to have something like this that is so innovative and knowing how it's going to be able to provide something that no one else is doing, it has to be a great feeling for you.
It is a great feeling. It's a sense of pride. It's a sense of accomplishment to see it come to fruition. Through all the hard times, through the sleepless nights, through all the stress and all the sacrifice, to finally see the finished product, start to roll it out and getting people excited about it and hearing the feedback that I'm getting. It's great. It's a tremendous feeling. I can't explain it, but it's great.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be able to experience it. Atlanta is one of the places I frequent because that is where my program is also heard outside of my home state of Mississippi. So it's great to be able to look forward to that. Again, everyone, Captain Bermun McGhee has been our guest. We've been talking with him not only about his own journey as an aviation expert, but now also as an entrepreneur and business owner, what it's been like for him to provide great services for others, including now with Helicopter 2 that's rolling out officially for January 21st, 2021. But you guys can go ahead and start to enjoy the app, the benefits of that, and get to know it at the end of this month here. And Captain, where can our audience go for more information to kind of stay updated?
You can go to www.iflyhto.com. We'll be updating there, putting things there. Also, they can follow us on Instagram, official Helicopter 2, which is T-O, the letters T-O, as in you're taking a helicopter to downtown or to the airport. So that's the meaning of the name Helicopter 2. It means you're taking a helicopter to somewhere. So,
Gotcha.
And our app will be called H2 for short, but it stands for Helicopter 2.
Okay. All right. So for those joining us via the podcast and our friends through iHeartRadio, we'll make sure that we put that information there in the liner notes for you guys. But again, that is iflyhto.com is the website. And then, of course, on Instagram, as you heard Captain McGhee say, official Helicopter 2 is where you guys can be able to find it there. Captain, really did enjoy this time with you. Appreciate you stopping by. And it goes without saying, you are welcome back here in January when you have the official launch.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me again. Thank your audience for listening. And please follow us and stay up to date.
All right, looking forward to that. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. Let's make it amazing. Take care.